Okay, what were we talking? Oh, Kyren. We were talking about Kyren.
So we brought up the list of the top 10 running backs, and one of the ones not mentioned, even though Kyren Williams has had an impressive start to his career, not in that conversation. But you can make the argument that he should be in the honorable mention. So I wondered, where does he fit for you? Where does he fit in the scale of just a guy, more than a guy? How much can we pay? How much should he be worth?
You can make the argument for him being in the top 10. Go ahead. I'd love to hear.
Well, no, not in the top 10, but I'm saying at least the argument for him to be in the honorable mentions.
Okay,
which was like top 16.
I think he should have been at least in the honorable mentions. He finished 7th in rushing. Almost 1,300, 1,299, 4.1 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. He scored 14 times. At least you should have put his name on the list. That to me is a snub.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
I put him above Breece Hall. I think he's more influential in their winning for the Rams, a team that went to deep into the playoffs.
Talk about a fantasy bust, Emily. Everybody taking Breece Hall like
injuries,
second
right?
or third.
He gets banged up a lot.
He just ended up not being as kind of explosive as we all thought.
You might take the name guy there, and the name here is actually Sean McVay. He's the face of the offense. So you may say Kyren's success is just a product of McVay's genius.
That's what I'm asking you.
You may get the knock. You may get the knock that way. But, I mean, even Sean McVay would tell you that's not true.
Okay.
But if that's
Kyren is a really good running back. He's got great vision. Now, the one thing he does not have is breakaway speed. That's what seems to bother people. His longest rush was 30 yards. So he's not very explosive. And I'll say this. How many times did he put it on the deck last year? 6, and it seemed like he had a rash of them for a month.
Yeah, felt like it was every time he got the ball.
That killed him. That you can't do, no matter what you do, or at least – let's say if you were running for damn near 800 and scored 20 rushing touchdowns, they may forgive you. But putting the ball on the ground 6 times and killing you in games like versus Philadelphia when you just killed momentum, that would kill you on anybody's list. And it's deserved. So he knows that.
But I think the thing is that we didn't see enough of Blake Corum last year.
We didn't see much of Blake Corum.
If Kyren Williams was putting on the deck as much as he was, and Sean McVay is that talented of a coach, wouldn't he be able to put in Blake Corum in there and make it work?
So that's a funny thing because it was actually happening, and it was happening organically. There was a time when you were about to, and I think it might have been during Kyren's fumbleitis bout there. There was a time when it seemed like the team was getting ready to turn it over to Blake Corum. The problem is he broke his arm on like his 3rd or 4th carry, and he's out. And then Kyren straightened himself out. He got the message. He understood and came back and finished the season strong and kept possession of the football. He was really good down the stretch. But at one point, yes, Blake Corum was about to be the guy. He just had that arm injury. He ran out of bounds, and he gave it to the corner or the safety that hit him. It was a great hit. He just broke his arm.
So do we see Kyren sign a new deal before the season starts, or do the Rams want to wait and see one more year?
I don't want to run him out of the building. I don't think anybody wants to run him out of the building. Sure. You want him to have better ball security, but economics will take over. And if you think, and this is the funny thing, agents are always, well, you know this, agents are insane. All they're going to do is pitch your numbers. And what it says is, if you look at the stats, Kyren Williams is the 7th best running back in the National Football League. So we want something close to what, or approximate to what these guys are being paid. And that's going to be the problem. I think I'm worth $10 million a year. Mm-hmm. Really? Okay, Blake, get ready. If you want to take a team-friendly deal and just make it even, I'm sure they would let Kyren play football. He would be your running back going into the future. But he's gonna try to get everything he can from his career, and he should do that. But that might mean they turn the rock over to the next guy, which could be Ray Corum.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that the skill set that he has, like good player, but not something that you're gonna be too persuaded to go overboard.
No, wait. So same with James Cook. James Cook is trying to get paid in Buffalo, and he's at a stalemate, and he's a really good running back.
Yeah,
we'll just.
I think
wait
he
and
was
see.
8th on that list that we gave. Yeah,
or just. We'll wait and see if you can prove it again. Same with Kyren. You haven't shown a propensity to be explosive. Well, I hope you train for that, because the way to erase that is be more explosive. Well, I think you have a fumble problem. The way to cure that is don't put the ball on the ground, and then you get the money you deserve down the stretch. So it's all on him. Either way, it's good for us. My favorite thing on a football team is a pissed off running back or a disrespected one, because he's going to prove you wrong, which means, great, we win. So I hope Kyren's in that same vein. If not, look out for Blake Corum.
So we didn't get to watch much of Blake Corum last year. We did see a lot of him at Michigan.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tape on him. Where how good do you think he could be? What is the
so
upside
here's the
for Blake
thing,
Corum?
man. I mean, when you watch him, it seems like they had 3 of the same guy. Kyren, Blake Corum, and Ronnie Rivers all look the same. Short, squatty, big bubble guys. You were hoping for more explosion. Now, maybe with more carries, Blake Corum could have shown you something. Break a few, make somebody miss, get down the sideline, score from 50 yards out. But like I said, he broke his arm. So I don't know yet. Maybe the Hunter kid, I know McVay really wanted him in the draft. He seems to be more explosive. That could be your guy. But I know this. Sean McVay is looking for more explosion out of the backfield.
Okay.
Now, hopefully Kyren can do it because I like the guy. If it's Blake Corum, it's Corum. But somebody has got to take a short one and turn it into a long one and make it easy for your offense and Matthew Stafford.
The best version of the Rams offense has been with a great running back like Todd Gurley. When they had Todd Gurley on this team, they were unstoppable on their offense.
I believe
and they haven't had it since he's left the team.
I believe so. Any offense that has a threat in the backfield is going to draw eyes. And if you have a coordinator or a play caller worth his salt, he's going to take advantage of that. I'll give you, for instance, when Marshawn Lynch is in Seattle, right? When he's on the field, you're going to have at least 9 guys watching him to make sure you're in run support.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're smart, take advantage. Play action, you'll get somebody open. It's going to be man coverage. McVay is a master of that, but you have to give him help. You have to be a credible threat, not just an afterthought. They have to buy the fact that the Rams can beat you running the football.
Are you ready for some football, Jorge? Yeah. Head nodding.
He's a Niners fan. We don't talk to him about football.
We hope he's not ready for some
Are you
football.
a Vikings fan?
Of course.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Good. This is fun. What did you think of Sam Darnold?
I appreciated what Sam Darnold did. I was not willing to break the bank in the way that he wanted, and
You didn't
therefore
want to pay him.
was okay with him moving on. And I'm like, we got to see what we have in J.J. McCarthy. All right, you trade up to take a kid that high in the first round. You can't then pay a Sam Darnold $100 million or whatever it looked like it was going to take to get him. So I'm kind of sink or swim with McCarthy, and that is a nervous feeling, especially coming into a team that is otherwise pretty good. So but I feel like that's the only way you can do it.
Kind of the same thing. Turning it over to Corum. It's like, okay, are you just because you're out on Kyren Williams and you want Corum to do it? Be careful because we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
Same with Sam.
Yeah.
How do you think he's going to do in Seattle?
I
Right.
think he's good, not great. Like once you bring a certain amount of pressure, that's when the problems start.
Yes.
And so if you've got a great situation, a great line, and like he can get the ball out of his hands quickly, he's got a great arm. But I worry similarly to how I worried about Kirk Cousins and still would. Like that type of quarterback to me can't get you over the top in a playoff game because you're always going to get the better defenses and you're going to get the pressure and you've got to have the guys that can either stand in and make a play or can scramble out. And I just don't want a quarterback that's in the middle there.
I got you. Yeah, man.
And that's where I feel like he is.
He's such a good dude that you kind of root for him, and I wish you can coach out the freak out in him.
Yeah.
Because every now and then when it gets tight and the defenses get better, he seems like he just absolutely falls to pieces.
Yeah.
It was a shame. Like to play that well up until this point and then fall completely off a cliff and take the Vikings with you was a damn shame. So
no doubt.
I don't know what Seattle's doing. I think they were dumb. Really, you let go of a solid quarterback to sign a guy to an even bigger deal that no one is sure of.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And then you purge everyone, and then it didn't make sense.
Yeah, by the way, later in the show, speaking of Seattle, Pete Carroll is in Vegas now, so I'm curious to hear your take on that, but not before we do Fact or Cap. That's coming up next on Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN. I'm